Hello, good evening, welcome back. This is Kate B, my channel, Kate B. I'm in Central Florida, United States of America. Welcome to my channel, Kate B 5170. Kate B. I'm Kate. I live in Central Florida, and I'm an immigrant from Eastern Europe, and I'm living my American dream here in the United States, Orlando area, sunny Florida. So earlier I was going on my live stream while driving. Don't go while driving. I was in traffic and I thought like it's only a short drive, 15 minutes drive to my Zumba class. But I'm done with my Zumba class, and my previous live stream, I thought it was 15 minutes and I told you the story what happened this week, but it only was 2 minutes and 40 seconds, or maybe 2 minutes 20 seconds, and I didn't finish my story. So I looked back. For some reason it was a bad connection, so I looked back and my story, you know, my live stream dropped or something happened. I probably was switching between the Wi-Fi. I was leaving campus where I work and I was leaving, and the internet probably dropped. 5G didn't pick up. I was stuck in traffic. Long story short, I stopped at 2 minutes 40 seconds in a previous stream telling my story, what happened to me this week. So I'm gonna finish that story, and on top of that I'm gonna tell you another story. Yep. Stella, иди кушай. I'm making mac and cheese with broccoli for my kids, so give me a second while I'm serving her dinner. And can you hear me? Welcome, welcome. Welcome. If you haven't been on my channel, I'm Kate. This is my brand new kitchen. We finished it in March 2025 of this year. It's my gorgeous modern birch kitchen. I'm very proud of my big beautiful kitchen. So I'm trying to cook every day, but my kids don't want what I cook today, so they're eating something else. Can you hear me? Oh, I'm streaming. Hello. Like done. Thank you for your like, Raja. Thank you, Raja. Thank you. I'm Kate. If you're first time on my channel, I live in Central Florida. Originally, I'm from Eastern Europe. I am speaking Russian. English is my second language, so if I make mistakes, please be patient with me. If you want to comment, please be kind.
I braided my hair. Well, I did one side so far, but
It's good.
if anybody knows watching this
Что здесь?
what?
Синее что-то. Гусиное.
I know.
What's that? Hello, welcome. Good morning. Where is morning? Somebody's saying good morning. Okay, good morning.
Did you put it in for a minute and 30 seconds?
Yes,
Okay.
I did. Oh my gosh. So today we're making a salad. You know, I was coming from Zumba class and I had that urge to eat tomatoes. I love tomatoes. It's my favorite fruit. Did you know tomatoes can be fruit or vegetable? If you say tomato is fruit, it's totally fine. If you say tomato is vegetable, it's totally fine. That's a unique fruit or vegetable. So I grew up in Moldova, Eastern Europe. In summer we had tons of tomatoes, and I'm a big fan of tomatoes. So today I'm making my tomato salad, and I'm using a lot of fresh herbs. Like where I'm from, we used to eat a lot of dill. We used to eat a lot of parsley, a lot of dill. I'm keeping it like that in my fridge so it stays fresh longer. And I love cilantro. Don't tell my daddy, because my daddy doesn't like cilantro, but when I smell cilantro, it makes me. And I'm gonna put some seasoning. And I have a little piece of fennel, and I have red onion. So we're gonna cook my tomato soup, and we're gonna use some garlic, because garlic helps you fight viruses and whatever. Garlic is I love garlic. So garlic is natural antibiotic, and this week I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm sick. But let me tell you that story. It started about my teeth, because I freaked out. I panicked big time this week because I had like something uncomfortable with my teeth, with my gum. and all of a sudden I started to feel that my bridge, you know, some of my teeth have the crowns. And my best friend, who is the dentist, she also from my school, we met in elementary school and we kept a friendship for more than 40 years. She became a very, very successful dentist, and she took care of me when I had an emergency with my teeth here in the United States. And you know, I do have insurance, but insurance doesn't cover any major dental work here, so thousands and thousands of dollars. She helped me. She didn't charge me much. She charged me nothing. So I was lucky to put very good dental work in my mouth. So now it's been a while and something started to bothering me. So I had this pain in my head. I had a pain in my and I'm not a hypochondriac. Normally I'm a very healthy person. I'm not trying to find any conditions, like when I'm like stressed or something. I know I need a good sleep, and I need good sleep, exercise, good food, and I'm not usually getting sick with the colds. But a couple of weeks ago, I was sick with a cold. It was like some virus, you know, like it started school and things happening. So, pardon.
Sorry, there's this brown thing in my pasta. Can I just grab it? Well, the part.
Okay.
And
Is this
it's
meat?
like, no, there's no meat in it. It does not have frozen ginger. You see that brown? It's not supposed to be. What'd you eat it?
No, it's just something burned. A little bit burned. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
You
Sorry.
don't have to eat it.
Sorry for interrupting.
That's okay. No worries. So, where am I? So I'm not a hypochondriac, and again, I had that virus 2 weeks ago, so I took some time off to relax at home, to rest and feel better, and I went back to work. Nothing major. I didn't go to a doctor, but something was lingering. I had headaches and a little bit of a sore throat here. And again, I don't like to be a drama. I don't like to find conditions, but I'm gonna share some knowledge, like I said in the previous live stream, which interrupted with no internet. I'm gonna share some knowledge like that I didn't know before, so maybe if you have a similar situation, you'll know what's going on. So, and again, I'm totally fine. I got my medication. Actually, I have to take it because it has to be every 12 hours, and I took one in 6:30, and now it's 7:30. Okay, now it's 7:30 in Florida, 7:30 at night. I'm making my tomato salad. Let me get some water. So every 12 hours I'm taking them. Okay, but before the medication. So I'm very healthy. And, you know, the cold wasn't anything special. I felt better, but something was lingering. So I started to feel like a little bit of soreness or pain in my neck, like a part of my throat, a part of my face, and a part of my like skull and head. And it really bothered me that it started to radiate in my ear, and I had like ear, like sometimes like.
Where's the yellow thing you gave me yesterday so I don't get sick?
Oh, okay, the immune thinking. Okay, go get some water.
Yep.
I'll help you. So I'm like, whatever, it's gonna go away. And I'm taking a little, like, whatever, Tylenol, like we usually take ibuprofen for the headache. And I'm like, not a big deal. I sleep well, I eat okay, like I go exercise on Monday, nothing. But on Tuesday, it's kind of like my ear starts to hurt a little more. And I had this appointment with my doctor, and I wasn't, and like how things meant to be, you know. I wanted to talk about like different stories that like little signs that God guides you about little things you wouldn't do, but you do, and they happen for a reason. This one? Yeah. Okay, don't knock this one because it's so big. Yeah. Let me get you one. And wait until it fizzes and dissolves, okay?
Do I have to stir it or anything?
Yeah, you can stir it to help it dissolve. Thank you for being with me. I have one person. Please don't be shy. Say where you from. Okay. So I'm like, whatever. I can handle it, like with a little ibuprofen. I'm like I'm not falling apart. I'm not like usually finding a lot of conditions in myself. I'm a healthy person. I'm like, I can handle it. But then I started to feel like aches in my tooth, in my gums, you know, up here. I'm like, that doesn't feel good. And it felt like something got stuck between my teeth. And like having like a lot of dental work, you have to make sure you go every 6 months to check with your dentist. And you have to make sure you do x-rays, and you have to make sure you have good dental insurance to cover whatever happens. And I've been so good for the past 5 or 6 years. I've been going religiously. I didn't have any troubles, any like feelings, anything bad with my teeth. I do my cleaning on time, so my teeth are okay. But all of a sudden I started to feel that like sensation, and I don't think much about it. I started to clean very vigorously, and like imagine you have to use a lot of tools every day to go under your crowns and blah blah blah, and between your teeth you use a lot of, you know, teeth, whatever you call it, thread, what is called, Stella? Нитка, зубная нить, like tooth thread. And then floss, yeah, floss. I always forget dental floss, or I use like the special things or special brushes and special loops to go under my bridge. Like, you don't want even to know, like, all these little things that I go through, like, to make sure my teeth are very clean, where everything comes out. And I start to feel like my friend, she knows that I have a weakness for sunflower seeds, and I'm a sucker for sunflower seeds. So if you give me sunflower seeds, I will sit all night. And maybe this week I wasn't in a good mood, so I needed something. And I've been eating sunflower seeds like crazy. And of course they get stuck between your teeth. So I had to clean and clean. And I cleaned so vigorously that my gum got like sore, you know. I got a little sore on my gum, and I started to panic because my gum next day became very sore. It had a little something on it because I used the brush, I used the floss, and I felt like with the floss, I accidentally moved something and my bridge started to move. And I'm like freaking out because like, losing your teeth in the United States is a disaster. It's like a complete disaster. And what I was going through with that side of my mouth, you don't even want to know. I had an oral surgery to extend my bone because, you know, when I broke my tooth, it wasn't enough place to put the crown. So I've been through a lot. So I know how difficult and how crazy is that. So I'm panicking. I'm like immediately in a panic mood. I don't know what's going on. So I started to feel like my bridge is moving. I'm like, oh, darn it. Maybe I moved it with the floss because I vigorously floss. And all of a sudden I have that inflammation on my gum, and I'm freaking out that my tooth under the, you know, so your teeth under the bridge, they're still there, but they're very fragile. And if you don't take good care of them, they can get rotten and your bridge gonna fall. And then you need implants, nothing they can do for you. And I know with age, some people, their bone tissue gets like really narrow, and you have to be very, very careful with implants and stuff like that. So like, let's not go there. I'm like panicking. I'm totally, by Tuesday, I'm in total panicking mode. But last week I had to make an appointment with a doctor about something else. And I'm like dreading that appointment. I'm like, I don't like to go to the doctors, and I have to make it because it's like something important to me. So I'm calling them, and they're like, yeah, they have an appointment on Wednesday morning. You can come over on Wednesday morning. So by Wednesday morning, and when I called them initially, it was a different reason to see the doctor, but I'm still paying, like when it's a sick visit, you pay out of your insurance, you pay a copay, like $20, and the doctor sees you, and then you discuss whatever you need to discuss. But if you just wellness visit, you can discuss any concerns. When it's wellness visit, it's just general. So this time it's like a sick visit, but it's about something else, not my ear. And all of a sudden I wake up so tired and so exhausted on Wednesday morning. I'm like, what I'm gonna do? Okay, I have to stop blah blah blah. I'm cooking my salad. They really want my salad. Look at this beautiful, beautiful herbs. I put it in my salad. Look at this beautiful green onions. Oh my gosh. And we have lemons for the dressing. Oh my gosh. And we have this beautiful onion. So instead of blah, 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 I need to tell you the story. So I'm freaking myself out because I'm an anxious person. And I'm not an old lady, so what can hurt? But I go there, and it's funny because when I go there, they're like getting me in, and the nurse will take my blood pressure and everything, and she sees on the chart, she sees, do you have a right, she says, are you here about right thigh pain? Right thigh pain. I'm like, right thigh pain? And I tell her, no, it's not a right thigh pain. I have right ear pain, but I never told them about it. Like it's a miracle. She put it on somebody else like chart or something. It's written in the handwriting. So I don't know why this lady telling me, am I here about my right thigh pain? I say, no, I don't have pain in my right thigh. But then I'm sitting and like I take 30 seconds and I'm like, but I have a pain in my right ear. And she's like, oh, okay, maybe they didn't take the right notes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not even here for my ear. But if I say I'm here for my ear too, he's gonna check what's going on there, because I already made I haven't made an appointment with the dentist yet because I'm freaking out. And I'm like, okay, one appointment at a time. I can't miss work so much. And it's Wednesday morning. I'm already missing work. And, you know, I'm already like running late to work because my work starts at 8:30 and I'm 8:30 waiting for my doctor, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh, she's asking about right thigh pain. I'm like, no, I'm not here about right thigh. I'm like, my thigh is perfectly fine. Right ear. And she's like, oh, really? He'll check your ear. Don't worry. And he comes in and we discuss something that I came to discuss, blah, blah, blah. We do this and we do that. And then I say, hey, doc, I haven't been feeling well since I had the cold and it didn't go away. Something is lingering in my like throat and my ears. So I have this little pain and some headaches coming in, but I don't really care because I don't take fever, or that I don't take any, like I don't have fever, or I don't take time off work, and I'm not trying to make it up. I'm just saying, if you're checking me, check my ear. And he looks and he starts to look, and it hurts even more when he puts his little whatever light in there. And I'm like, and he said, oh, it's something there. Like, I'm not like, I'm not screaming like crazy. I'm just like, you know, like, making a little sound, telling him that when he pulls it, like, I feel it even more. He said, yeah, it's a little infection there. And he said, that might be from your cold if you had a cold, you know? And I'm like, yeah, but my cold was like not recently. It was maybe 2 weeks ago. And he said, yeah, it can stay. Like the virus can sit there, or like bacteria or something. And he said, don't worry, I'll give you the antibiotic for your ear, because he said, I do see. And I'm like, wow, I'm not going crazy. It is something in my ear. And then that's, I feel like here a headache, and I feel like something on my face, like something, it's sore. And because of my gum is sore, and a little bit here on my neck. But anyways, I'm not making a big deal out of it. I'm just, okay, I'll pick up my antibiotic and I'll start it and it's going to be okay. But I'm still stressed. So I'm going to work, and I'm calling my dentist. And she says, yeah, if you think it's a bridge, come see me immediately. Because, you know, like when it's a bridge, you want to figure out. Because, you know, like nobody wants you, your bridge is falling and you can't, like it's a disaster. So it's an emergency. She says, yeah, I can see you today at 4. I'm like, whatever. If I need to leave the work, I'm going to leave the work and I'm going to do my stuff. So I'll probably use, I really like onion, but I'll probably use third of the onion. And I like to cut my onion like in a little, like that. I like my onion like that. Wait. Okay. So now tomatoes. I have very good tomatoes. They're very juicy. And so I go, and he said, don't worry about it. And I call her, and she said, you can come see me, the dentist. You can come see me at 4. So I go at 4, and I'm like, doctor, I'm really freaking out because I think my bridge is moving, my crown is moving, and I have this inflammation on the gum. And like in my head, it's a bad case scenario. It's like, whatever. I probably need bone, I probably need implants, I probably need like $20,000 to spend on my teeth again. And I'm freaking out. And she said, freaking out doesn't help. We need to do an x-ray to see what's there. but I'm religiously doing x-ray every 12 months. So the insurance only covers the calendar 12 months. But if something happens, you know, and the doctor thinks like you need an x-ray, if you really have an active pain, they might cover this x-ray not like after 12 months, just like it hasn't been 12 months. Probably I did one in December, so it's not due until next December. But anyway, she said, don't worry, we'll do the x-ray, we'll see. And I'm like freaking out. She does the x-ray and she says, I don't see anything. Everything looks good on that side. And then she starts to examine me. She moves my bridge. She tried to move my bridge, my arm. She said, no, everything looks solid. And I'm like, doctor, no, I'm going nuts. And then she's asking me, is anything else hurts? Like you know, when the dentist does the exam, they touch you everywhere. Like, I'm like, yeah, something else hurts. Like she does the bottom x-ray too, because like when she touches here it hurts, but I don't tell her the full story. And then I'm like, you know, doctor, to tell you the truth, my ear hurts really bad. And I went to the doctor and they told me I have a little ear infection. She said, oh, that could be a culprit. She said, you have to take your antibiotics for the ear, and maybe it radiates in your teeth and your jaw, and that's why you have this. And she said, because you vigorously was trying to clean your your teeth, you were too rough on your gum, and your gum is sore and inflamed. But she said, I don't see anything behind like the tooth, you know, like on the x-ray she would see the abscess, or she would see the inflammation, or she would see the infection if it's there, or like she would see like crazy stuff. So I'm like, oh. And she said, nothing there. She said, that could be an ear infection that gives you that sensation. And I'm like, I've never heard about it. I've never heard that the ear infection can affect your jaw, like literally, like my jaw like doesn't feel right. So I call my friend. I text my friend who's a dentist. I'm like, imagine, I freaked out about it. And she said, keep me posted what's going on, don't worry, we'll take care of it. I'm like, okay. So I'm texting her today and she's like, right, sinus infection here or ear infection can give you pains all over your face and on your jaw and your teeth. And she says, yes, exactly what happens to a lot of patients. They start feeling that their teeth are moving. Even natural teeth, they're not moving, believe me. It's just the sensation that comes from the infection. And it feels like your teeth are moving. And this lady, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I felt so bad, because when I was flossing, I thought I you know how you floss and you like taking your crown off or something, and I was like stressing myself, going nuts, going cuckoo that I did something to my crown. Hi David. Ear, nose and throat. Ear, nose and throat. Yeah, but my teeth, the whole jaw hurts. Like the whole jaw feels really crazy. So they're giving me this antibiotic, and the dentist asked me what antibiotic you have, and I show her the prescription. She said, it should help. It should help with everything. Like if it helps with the ear infection, it should help with, you know, whatever sensations you have, and it's gonna usually get better in 48 hours. So it hasn't been 48 hours, it's been like 24 hours since I started. So hopefully I'm back to, but I'm like freaking out because I can't chew much. Like I'm making my salad from tomatoes, because I'm chewing on the other side. I'm very careful on that side because I literally feel my teeth are moving and falling off. That's crazy. I'm sure you'll be fine, Dave. Yeah. And I'm like, again, I'm not a hypochondriac, but when it comes to teeth, I freak out because it's so expensive and it's such a painful job to get in your mouth and do things. It's like with age, it's more difficult because you're losing bone tissue, and sometimes like if it comes to implants, it's like really sad. Some people don't have enough bone to put implants, so they have to go through surgery to grow the bone. And some people, you know, go through a lot to go to dentures, but you know, I don't want dentures, you know. So I'm taking such a good care of my teeth. That's why, like, hi Kate, Kida Wag, how are you doing? You look very nice this evening. I love the blue shirt and earrings and hairstyle. Thank you. Looks like the same claw clip from the other day. Yeah, that's the same. And it's funny because I came from my Zumba class. I didn't go shower yet, but you can tell I don't smell bad usually. But Stella is laughing. Yeah, Stella is laughing because I'm telling you that. But that's how my hair, you know, because I was exercising and I was jumping and dancing, so I put my hair up again. And when I came home, I'm just not touching everything, wash my hands and cook my salad. So I really like this green onion, and for my salad I use some parsley. Like, let's say I use this amount of parsley and dill. And you know, like, it's gonna be very light dinner because I am telling you, I'm scared to eat. My teeth are moving, so I'm scared to eat. So if you want to lose some weight, then
your teeth aren't eating.
Huh?
Your teeth aren't moving.
Yeah, they are. They are not. Tita Angelina told me they are not. She said it just happens with with conditions like that. So I'm gonna be totally fine. But I'm gonna tell you about something else. Like, this week is crazy. This week, like, I run in and out, like, at work, and there was somebody who was visiting me, my daughter's friend. She graduated from the high school and she goes to the university I work for. And when I saw her at the theater, I said, you can come visit me because I work in the library, and she goes study there. And I'm like, you can come visit me. So she texted me and she said, oh, I'm in the library, can I come visit with you? I'm like, of course. And I wanted to show her the library, and the kid was amazed because I showed her the ARC, I showed her like new spaces for students, I showed her quiet rooms, I showed her a booth, I showed her virtual reality like studio we're gonna have, like podcast studio was closed, but I explained to her about it. So it was so busy, I was in and out because I had those appointments. Папа пришел, как дела? Музыка у тебя там. Я говорю у меня лайвстрим музыка. And I was like going crazy. But I was so happy to see the kid because, like, she's the first year in college, and she's like, literally, you see these kids growing, and all of a sudden the adults, they go to college, and that's it. They're adults now. They have to take care of themselves. So I was so happy to see the kid. I'm guessing you're from the USA. I grow parsley and dill. Oh, good for you, David. Where are you from? And I love cilantro. Oh my gosh, cilantro. I can just smell cilantro. It makes my day better. I'm telling you. It sounds like perfume to me. Scotland. David, you grow parsley? Do you grow dill too? Dill is very healthy for you. In Moldova, I'm from Eastern Europe. I'm in the USA now, in Orlando area. It's Florida. It's Florida, Central Florida. But originally I'm from Eastern Europe, Republic of Moldova. It's next to Romania and next to Ukraine on the east. It's next to Romania, and on the west it's next to Romania, and on the east it's next to Ukraine. But Moldova was a small agricultural country, and people grew a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, a lot of onions, potatoes. Yeah, potatoes, leek, onion, apples. That's what we ate. That's what we ate when we grew up. Even in winter when we don't have fresh fruits, apple was to-go fruit. That's why I don't like apples, because apples made me super hungry. And apples were the fruits to go. And we did a lot of preserves. My mom did a lot of fruit preserve, jams, lots of like strawberry jams, lots of like compote. Compote, it's like when big fruits are covered in their own juices, and water and sugar is added to preserve them, and in winter time that's what you eat for your fiber. I make bramble jelly. Oh my gosh, lucky you. Bramble jelly? I don't even know what kind of berry is bramble. What is bramble? Can you explain a little better? What kind of fruit is that? Bramble? I don't recall that name. Bramble jelly. Sounds really good. My dad loves all the jellies. Now we buy them in the store. I bought this raspberry jelly because it helps with fever. It's not even a jelly, it's preserves. You know what is the difference between jelly and preserves? Preserves have more pulp of a fruit, even with the little seeds of raspberry, but jelly will be more smooth and mashed. Blackberry. Bramble is a blackberry? I didn't know that word. Blackberry is fun. Yeah, good for you. So you make jelly? You make jelly? Do you add pectine? or just sugar and you boil your jelly and you smooth it out somehow. That's cool. I've made raspberry, strawberry, plum plum. Oh my gosh, thanks for telling me about the plum. I love plum. So anyways, I'm having a very busy week, but that's good for me. It's good for my emotional what you say, emotional state, because tomorrow is the day when I remember my mommy. My mommy passed away on September 19th, 25 years ago, and it's not really a celebration, it's a memorial. It's a memorial. It's every year memorial. On that day, I consciously grieve, and I consciously cook, and I consciously light the candle for her, and like let my other members of the family remember and grieve about her, and like pray about her and pray about all of us that we remember her and she's still in me, you know. And my dad probably forgot because he doesn't know what's the date or anything, but like God guides you every day. Like if you don't believe in those little signs of magic, a little signs, I call them signs of God, just believe, just trust. Like that day in the morning on Wednesday, I'm dressing up in black, and I don't like to wear black. Like you see my clothes, I'm buying the bright colors, Lily Pulitzer, blue, pink, white, whatever I have, but it should be like something when I'm dressed in black, when we're going to a formal event or something. So just boil the fruit and strain the seeds. Yeah, you strain the seeds. Place in your pillow slip and let juice drip overnight. Yeah, that's how my mom did it. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, but we had yeah, that's how we did it. 1 cup juice to 1 cup sugar, then boil. Yeah. So one and one. The ratio is 1 and 1. It's very sweet, and that's the ratio to keep them preserved, not to get moldy, not to get the bacteria, whatever, like it's called botulino bacteria. If you don't have enough preserves, or if you don't boil them enough to kill everything, your jars can blow. So I remember back in the day, my mom had very strict technology, and the ratio of sugar should be correct to preserve the fruit. Hi, hello, good morning. Get Gospel Melody. Welcome. I'm Kate. Welcome. I'm from sunny Florida. I'm making my beautiful salad. Seal lid when hot kills bacteria. Yes. And they would even put the jars in the boiling water to boil the jars too, like for some fruits or vegetable preserves. So, but anyway, so on Wednesday, why I'm telling you all these things, because like I remember last Saturday we went to the theater, and I needed to watch this who's talking on the phone, baby?
Oh, I'm talking with Gracie.
Okay, that's fine. Seal lid when hot kills bacteria. Okay. So remember I told you on Saturday that we went to the theater, and the next day when I had a live stream, I told you about the story. We watched Talk Everlasting, and I needed the message because I'm grieving. All these months I'm thinking about losses, about death, about like mortality, about things that awaits us, like how people deteriorate with age, how they physically deteriorate, how they deteriorate like mentally, and it's sad, but that's a circle of life, you know, that God gives of life as life here temporary, but the eternal life will be after life, you know, like after death. So I'm trying to take it philosophically, and then we watched this fantastic show, Talk Everlasting, about immortal people. And I cried, I bawled my eyes. I needed that stress, I needed that philosophy, I needed that grief to come out of me. And I felt better on Sunday. But Monday, I'm a little under the weather, and I know this week is coming, I know this day is coming, and I'm gonna be crying again and being in that, you know, like low blues and grieving mood. So remember my mom, I come in India, Kerala state's okay. Okay, Kerala states, I look on the map and I see why. So I'm watching this show, and the God gives me a message. circle of life, you know, the philosophy is like this: immortal people were not happy. They were stuck. They were pretty much stuck, you know. There were no circling of life. They were miserable. And I'm like, okay, I needed to hear the message. I needed to get a sign of God that it's gonna be okay. I still love my mom. She's still watching us and protecting us from heaven. She's my angel, and I know, I feel that. Like I have a lot of like signs. God tells me she's like, the spirit is there, and like she's happy for us, whatever we achieved, like all of our sisters and my children. She never met them, but it's something there. Lord is protecting us and protecting my mom and everything. So I'm like, okay, I needed that. But I forgot that I signed up for memorial service, and it was happening on Wednesday in the afternoon at work, because we lost a colleague, and he was very dear to me. He was such a good man. I worked with a colleague. He was old, and I remember last time seeing him, he was not like, he already was not very well. And I met him, and he was always like taking time to talk to me about like stuff going on in the world, about the books he selects for other people as gifts and stuff. But he was like very nice colleague. My name is Sam. Please pray for me, okay? Get gospel melody, okay, Sam? I'll say a little prayer for you. Okay. So I'm thinking about Richard a lot, and you know, this topic triggers me because that's the month, and I didn't know his memorial gonna be there, and I signed up to go at work. And that day in the morning, I don't even remember about this, because I'm like wrapped up in my own pain and my like whatever teeth and my like ear and my doctor's appointment, so I'm wrapped up. I don't remember. When I go to work, I sit down, the calendar pops, and it reminds me. It has little reminders what I have through the day. But this day I forgot. So in the morning, I'm dressing up in black shoes, black dress, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why I'm dressed up in black? I don't wear all black. Yes, I wear black sometimes top, but I always matched with a white skirt, and I don't wear everything black. But I felt that day that I need to wear black. I'm like, whatever. So I go in the morning, and there are ladies standing up front, and they're like, oh, Kate, hi. And I'm a little late. They've already been at work for some time, so they're chatting. They're like, oh, you look cute, you look nice. You dressed up for Richard's memorial. That's a cute outfit. Like, oh, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I totally forgot about that memorial. But that day, like, why did they wear all black? Why? Tell me. I'm swearing to you, like, that I never thought about. I forgot, it was last minute. They only send us on Friday. They send us a note that the memorial will be held for Richard on Wednesday. I'm like, oh, what's on Wednesday? I just put it on my calendar, and I went with the flow, because I always have the reminders. But that day I had the reminder like a day before that I have a doctor's appointment. So I'm like, in the morning, nothing going on, I have my doctor's appointment. But in the afternoon at 4, I was supposed to go to that memorial. So listen to that. It's not the end of the story. I promise. It's going to be like, it's going to be tear-jerking story. Like the story, like tear-jerking. I'm telling you, because when I talk about it, I want to cry. So a lot of tomatoes. I like my tomatoes to be super duper red. And that's good because they're juicy and red. And I brought them from, I brought these ones, and they were not very red. And you don't store them in the fridge, you store them outside at the room temperature, and they get red by themselves. So don't worry if your tomatoes are not super red when you buy them in the store. They're gonna get a little more ripe in the room temperature. My name is Sam. I'll pray for you, Sam. Anyway, so I'm dressed in black. I'm like, yeah, Richard memorial. But then listen to that. All of a sudden, I'm calling, like, that was after my doctor's appointment. So all of a sudden, I'm calling my dentist, and she said, yeah, you have to come immediately. If it's an emergency, come at 4. And all of a sudden, my daughter is sick. And that morning, she's like super sick, you know. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I probably will need to go to the dentist, and it gives me a little more time. So I don't leave work at 5, I leave work a little earlier, 3:30, and gives me time to go to my dentist and then go to the store, buy the chicken, cook the soup, because my kid is sick, and I have like all this, I have to buy all this extra remedies. I have to buy Halls, I have to buy like You know, this is like really good stuff. Airborne with vitamin C, like those fizzies to help her immune system. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyways, I made an appointment at the dentist, and then they told me about Rich's Memorial, and then it's at 4. And I'm like, oh, darn it, I cannot even go to Rich's Memorial because I wanted to go so badly. It's a service, it's a memorial, you know, it's like for everybody. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then something happens. Then something happens. Oh my gosh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna cry. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I don't want to be emotional because I cried a lot of tears this week already. God, pray me help and tell you this story without like breaking down again. Okay. So this kid calling me, and I'm like, okay, I promised the kid to give her to her. I'm like going right now, and the kid calling me, and I go with the kid. I walk with her for about 15 or 20 minutes, showing her around, and then I walk in my dress with my little wallet, and I walk, and I freaking see Richard. Oh my gosh, guys, I freak out. I have a very poor eyesight. But the jacket, oh my gosh, the jacket and the spine, oh my gosh, I see him in the library and I freak out. I freak out. I already know that I can't go to his memorial, but I see him. Listen to that. Listen to that. I'm standing right there and I'm like almost fainting because like I can't see very well. I have a poor eyesight. Even with the contact lenses, this is fennel. If you have fennel, it's very healthy for you. So even with the contact lenses, I'm about 20/40. Like the 100% eye vision is 20/20. But even with my contact lenses, like it's enough to dry, I'm 20/40. It's probably like 80% of the vision. Like maybe, but that's how much correction I could get with any glasses or any contacts. I cannot get more correction until I maybe do the laser surgery or something. But anyways, I see Richard. I'm freaking out. It happens, give me a second. It happens that his brother traveled from like whatever, Ohio or something to be at that memorial. And nobody told us that. Nobody told us that his brother gonna be at that memorial. He traveled from a different state to be there. And he looks just like Richard. Even the color of the jacket. Even how he dressed up, his slacks and his, like the men's, like the suit jacket, you know. Oh my gosh, even like the little like spine, like a little hunchback, you know. And I'm freaking out because Christine, the lady I work with, she's showing him around the library, and she sees me, and I'm like standing there, like I almost fainted because like I'm like dressed up in black to go for the memorial without the knowledge, and I see Richard and I see his brother. He's so sweet, he's so sweet, and I break down. I give him a big hug because I never had a chance to give a hug to Richard. I knew something was going on, but it was not professional. It's not freaking here. People don't hug. People are like afraid of everything. People don't randomly hug or kiss or cheer everybody. Like I fucking blame myself that I knew something was going on. The last time I met Richard and the elevator, it was like blazing hot, but our library can get really cold. And you know, when a person doesn't feel well, he needs extra layers. And I see him in this puff jacket. I'm like, it doesn't look like him because he's sharp. He's always wearing nice shirts and nice jackets. And all of a sudden I see him in that elevator wearing puff jacket and using the walker, and I break down. I look at him, I want to give him a hug for some reason, but I hold myself. We go to the 5th floor, he tells me something, and I knew that was the last time I saw him. So fuck that. People hug people, even if you're in the professional world, just ask and hug. Give people a hug. If you have an urge to hug somebody, go ahead and hug, because our culture is crazy here. People like their space, people protect their boundaries, people protect their freaking space. They don't like to be touched, they don't like to be assaulted, they're scared of everything. And I fucking knew I saw him the last time in that elevator. Fuck that, I didn't want to cry. So I see David, Richard's brother, and I hug him, and it feels like I'm hugging fucking. That was my last hug to Richard. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't explain. I can't explain that God gives me a sign that Richard is a better place, and he gives me a sign that grief. Oh fuck, sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm a crier. Oh my gosh. I was processing it because I'm standing there. I'm standing there and hugging David, and my eyes are filling up with. And Christine introduces me to David. She says that David is Richard's brother. He's coming to the service tonight. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I have a family matter and I cannot attend the service. But I'm so glad to meet you. And I'm glad I met him in like with less other people. I met him. He looks just like you. And I'm like, excuse me, can I please hug you? Can I please hug you? And he said, of course. And I hug him so tight. I'm like, I hug him because it's not just people you work with. You go to work, you build connections, you build love, you build understanding, you build feelings, and I never forget how nice he was after the war in Ukraine started to, kill us all. And he was nice and he took time to talk about it, about my feelings, and he was so knowledgeable. And oh my gosh, guys. So I give Richard a hug, even if it's his brother. Through his brother, I exactly the same jacket and everything. But I knew that it was a short ride in the elevator, and I knew something is off because he was wearing a puffy jacket, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the thought in my head, like, I hope it's not the last time I see him because he doesn't look well and he still comes to work, and I'm like, that's how devoted he is. He could like freaking be retired for the past 5 years if he's not well, but he's coming to work till the last day. He cannot walk anymore. Oh my gosh, and I didn't give him a hug in that elevator. I had such an urge, but I refrained from it. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh. Все, enough. Все, хватит. Хватит, I needed that. Фу. We lost another lady earlier, like a couple of months ago, and I was killing myself like that for not going to visit, but she was very private, so nobody was invited to her, like whatever hospital, very only very close friends. So I was like a mess like that too, because they never said goodbye. I didn't have a chance to stop by and see her before she got sick. But with David, I know exactly, or with Richard, I remember exactly the day I saw him, and I knew I knew that I might see him the last time, and I never gave him a hug. But I gave a hug to David, and I come back to my desk, and I'm sitting down processing them. And then later they've been walking him around, meeting other people, and I just sit on my booth, and I'm like so quiet. And Christine knew, she already introduced me to him, like more in a more private setting. And I'm glad that I didn't go to service, because I didn't want to be like that in front of my other co-workers. Hey Zoe, how are you feeling?
Good.
Feeling better? Did you take vitamin C? Did you take those a lot today? Every 4 hours. Please take some at night too. Oh my gosh, I'm almost done. So what I like to use for my, I like cumin, I like turmeric, I like coriander. Oh my gosh, hold on, we forgot. So I put fennel. Look at this beautiful salad. And we're gonna use lemon as a dressing, and we're gonna use olive oil. That's gonna be delicious. Hi Tom and Jerry, welcome, welcome. I'm very emotional because it's about life and death, and it's like, it's about how grief is the price for love, you know, like whoever said it, they said the Queen Elizabeth in England used to say it. So grief is the price we pay for love. And I'm like grieving a lot this week. So I'm glad I met David. I gave him a hug. That was my last hug to Richard in heaven. He's gonna be remembered in my heart. And when you work somewhere for 10 years and you build, you not only build work relationship, you build some type of personal relationship with people. I'm not talking about like in a not appropriate way. I'm not talking about affairs, but you do build personal relationship with people. You know some parts of their private life if they're willing to share. Their kids, their pets. And it's terrible to lose a coworker, because like if you go into work every day and you spend so much time there for so many years, part of the people at work become very, very close to you. Even if you don't see each other every day, if you don't work on a project like right there together, but you are there for them and they're there for you, and they become like very close. And some people you like more, some people you don't like, but it's still, I cannot cope with the loss, like it's hard for me to cope with the loss. Like I pray, and I understand about eternal life, and that after death, like people are in a better place, they're not suffering whatever hurdles, whatever troubles and sufferings they had before death, they are at peace, and that gives me peace too. But how do you like that story? How do you like me dressed up in black meeting Richard's brother? And I'm thankful to God to give me that opportunity. I'm very thankful that I'm blessed in that way to have whatever, to have a little closure. And then today they sent the pictures from the service, and I'm so glad I didn't go. There were like too many people I don't know, and too many people I wouldn't have that opportunity I had when I met David separately, not at the service where all the people were. And I was able to say what I said about Richard and how nice he was and how he will be remembered. I was able to say it in person without like too crowded and like formal ceremony or whatever they had held there. Whew. Thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me share. This salad smells so good. You should see it. It smells so good. Lots of greens. Again, onions, tomatoes, very ripe tomatoes, lots of greens, and whatever seasonings and spices you use. I kind of think it has,
1 minute. 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 1 minute
Middle Asian roots, this salad. It's what it's called, achachuk, I think in Uzbekistan, like more Central Asia. It's called achachuk salad because they love the greens there, and they love the spices, and they like tomatoes and onions and garlic. I did put some garlic too, maybe 2 cloves of garlic, and coriander. And coriander smells so good. Of course, salt. You could add a little sugar to the salad, but no sugar for me. I'll add salt and black pepper, but no sugar. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being with me. It took me an hour. Usually takes me 15 minutes to cook a salad, but not today because I needed to talk to you. I needed to tell you that story. I'm sorry. Like, I'm a very emotional person. When I cry, I let things out and I feel so much better. I think I feel so much relief. It's like medicine to me to cry, to let it out. And I'm like, okay. And I'm glad that, like, when I hugged David and when Christine kind of like told me, because I sent Christine a note, so she knew I'm not gonna attend, and that's why she stopped me to introduce him, because she knew maybe it was important for me. She knew that I expressed something, and I said sorry, I cannot attend because I I already had a dentist appointment and I already planned to be somewhere else. So she knew, and she stopped me and she gave me that opportunity, and I'm like, wow, I had a little closure. I feel a little better because when Mary Lee passed away, I was the same mess, and I like blaming myself for not saying goodbye, not going to the hospital, not helping, not even knowing that she was sick. And then when I was able to go to her memorial, and I cried, and we talked about her, and we told stories, blah blah. That was my closure. So that was my closure, and I'm using 2 lemons for the lemon juice. It's gonna be such a good salad, and I'm ready to. That's gonna be my dinner because I'm trying to lose some weight, and because I exercised, and after 7 I'm not eating. After 7, just the light salad. Now it's 8:17, so that's gonna be my dinner. Ой, так люблю зелень, я так люблю. Oh, I'm in love with all the herbs. I'm in love with all the. Так, 2 лимона. Выжимаем сок, как можем. Like we squeeze 2 lemons. Как хорошо, как вкусно. Дайте я вам покажу. Как все эти. Я вам не могу показать внизу. I cannot show you the bottom. It's like a lot of stuff around. It's a lot of different things around, so I cannot show you the bottom. It's a little messy. So I'm showing you just the background of my kitchen. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for watching. That's what I wanted to share. So always, if you have a feeling, like follow your intuition, follow your guts, follow your feeling. Most of the time God gives us some sign, and if you have a nudge, if you have a notion to do something, go hug people. Don't like try to be shy or awkward, you know. Do that, because a hug is a hug. It's nothing that can ruin your reputation even at work, but it can go far and help you later to cope with. Oh gosh, what happened? You're falling. Так, еще немножко соли. Где моя солонка? Okay. I have olive oil. I do buy 2 different olive oils for the salads. I buy extra virgin olive oil, like cold press, and for my cooking needs I buy like a little cheaper olive oil for the cooking needs, and it can be a mix of different olives, but this particular one is from Spain and it's extra virgin olive oil. I buy it in Costco. I really like it. So that's the salad. That's it. That's all what I wanted to tell you. So I'm gonna mix this beautiful salad Let me see. See me? I'm mixing this beautiful salad. It smells so good. It has all the healthy ingredients. I forgot if I put salt or not. I put a little more. All the healthy ingredients. Thank you for stopping by, being this live stream with me. Exactly an hour. Papa is getting some soup I made yesterday. We all survive on soup. When you're sick, when somebody's sick in your family, and I'm sick too a little bit, so soup and borscht and the foods, healthy foods, help you fight the infection. And again, garlic and onion are healthy antibiotics to help you fight infection. Okay, it's been 1 hour. I'll see you tomorrow, maybe Saturday. Thank you for supporting my channel. Love you all.